Hey everyone, so today's Bible story is Luke. It's 4, 1 through 13, and you can also find it in Matthew 4, 1 through 11. So, and it's talking about Jesus being tempted in the wilderness. And so we have, our first activity is just this, you'll give them this page. It's got bread, brag, bling. And you can go through, you can give them each a page, kind of have them get started on coloring it if they want. And then they can also be drawing pictures as you talk about it. So you'll go through each one and talk about what that means. So, of course, the bread is when our body gets the better of us. And that doesn't mean that feeling hungry is a temptation. But when we're hungry, when we're tired, when we're, thirsty or something like that, then we're tempted to do things that we might not do when we aren't. So that's what the bread part of that is. The brag is when our pride gets the best of it. So that's when, we might do something to prove how smart or talented or cool we are, or we might just want our own way, or, that could make us just, like trying to get attention, and that's not a good thing. So that's what that brag is about. And then the bling is when our eyes get the better of us. That's when we want something. So it's like looking at something somebody else has and wanting that, and that can lead to us being ungrateful. And so these are kind of the areas we need to watch us having temptation. So you're going to review the Bible story and talk about the 3 things that Jesus was tempted by. And so you're going to go through the first one, and you'll have a little sheet thing that'll have that on there. So this one says, if you are the Son of God, tell this stone to become bread. And then they have to figure out, well, which temptation does that fall under? And you don't necessarily, you can review the story and then you can get these out and you can go in a random order so that it's not as easy. But then you're going to stick that on there under, of course, bread. That one is. This will be nicely printed too. And then this one's, if you're the Son of God, throw yourself down for here. For it is written, he'll command his angels. So, of course, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but this will take so long. So, of course, that one is going to be under and so they're going to figure out where that is. You can have a little discussion in class about it. And then you're also going to have them think about ways they personally are tempted. So me, for the bread part, like sometimes I can get lazy. I can definitely get hangry. Like, man, you don't want to be keeping me away from food. A lot of us are like that, right? So ways we're tempted. So bragging, like, how am I bragging? Like sometimes, I want to do like the biggest, best thing so that it like gets me attention, So I'm trying to get attention maybe, or I'm showing off what I have and, bragging about it to my friends so they can think about things. So each category, we're going to think about what is actually tempting for us. And in general, if they want to, but like kind of make them think, what is it for them that is? And then talk about how did Jesus deal with that? Well, of course, Jesus dealt with that with the Holy Bible. He quoted the Bible. So review what he said in response to each temptation. So this one, it says, if you're a son of God, tell the stone to become bread. Then he replied, man does not live on bread alone, but rather on the word of God. So you're going to say what Jesus refuted that. And he refuted it with scripture. And so each part, we're going to write a Bible. And so I can make it look a little different from each other. And then we're going to circle that because that's how we can. So it's just a reminder to us how we can resist the temptations that we're going to face. So once you're done with that, if you have a little extra time, you will just have some metal objects. So you're going to start by reviewing the verse, which is God's power has given us everything we need to lead a godly life. That's 2 Peter 1:3, just the first part, so that A. So you're going to ask them, first of all, give them a screw and be like, hey, so is this screw going to move any of these objects? And of course they can try, and the screw's not going to do anything, right? Even a big screw, it's not going to move the objects, right? And so, but talk about if I took this screw, which is like us, right? And, wrong side of the magnet. So then suddenly I can move these things. And so talk about how it's like God's power gives us, this is like God's power. So this is God, this is us. And it gives that screw power to do things it didn't have to do anymore before. And so just talk about our verse and And just, and it was whether it comes to temptation, like the Jesus faced, or whether it's difficult things we face, any of the difficult things we face in life, we can look to God for our power. And so he'll work through us with our power. He'll give us our power, his power to do things we need to do. And so just, have a little fun with that and talking about, with God, we can do anything. So have fun. Thanks for all you do.